Welcome to my little space, where heart and hook stitch up a place, where we can together make a refuge safe for all our sake. Okay, we are on to the blanket for my son. Now, when he was choosing yarns for his blanket, he actually just pointed to not any of these at first. First, he pointed to a camo green, so it was like splotchy in different green colors, and I don't want to use a color changing yarn for this design because I really want the spiral motif to be clear, but as you can see, I did pick like a speckled yarn here, and I've got 3 greens. He also pointed to this particular bright green. So I've got the 3 greens, and then I'm matching with it this blue, which is sort of like a dusty, earthy blue, almost grayish, but it's definitely a blue, this brown, and this speckled beige. So I think this will give camo vibes, even though the whole thing will be spirally once again. So I'm gonna get to making square 1. It is now Wednesday. We are in another vlog. Oh my goodness, every single week I've been doing this for over a year now. I have a little stack going of these squares for my 3rd blanket. I am making 4 blankets, one for each of the main kids in my life, over the course of this year, 2026. And this is square type 1 for blanket number 3. And I'm using a pattern by Of Mars called Rainbow Galaxy Blanket. If you want to find it, I will put a link in the description box. And I need 15 of this style square, or this batch of colors. So I've got 9 of them so far. So I'm just going to keep making these. That's what I'm working on right now. I have been busy doing all sorts of things that I need to do. I'm going to be doing my taxes tomorrow morning. I need to call the dealership. I'm going to do that right now, my car dealership, and get an appointment hopefully for the day after tomorrow, because my car AC still doesn't work since before this past winter, and I just let it go through the winter because I don't need my AC in the winter, but now I need it again. So I'm going to try to get that taken care of as soon as possible, because I'm driving around. If I'm driving anywhere in the afternoon or evening, I'm driving around with ice packs, trying to keep myself cool in the car because I cannot stand it. And today I have to take my son to the doctor because we think he might have an ear infection. So getting lots of other stuff done. But I thought I should probably come in here and start recording some segments for this vlog. I don't have any other plans for the week other than right now doing squares number 1 and 2 for this blanket. So we'll see what unfolds, if I make any sales, or if I get into any batch making, or if I decide to do another AI crochet pattern. So I'm open at this point. All right, it's shipping day, and this is the vest that I altered in last week's video. Just didn't get to shipping it while filming last week's video, so here it is again with a kumquat that I needed to ship off to a different customer, and this little necklace that I included with the vest. So as just an extra little gift, because she traded me such a gorgeous pendant as payment for the alteration to this vest. As you can see, this has lots of really pretty fun yarns in it. I had just been telling our house guests as they were leaving about these bushes that they were going to be covered with pink flowers very soon, and within just a couple days, yes, they've popped open. And now at the time of editing this, I realized I could have waited a couple more days to show you these, because these bushes look even like twice as covered as they look right now. Okay, it is now Thursday, and I have all 15 squares made. This time I forgot to weave in ends as I made them. So these ones I've woven in the ends so far, and these ones I'm going to be finishing weaving in just the ends at the center. There are 4 ends at the center. The outside ends will be used to stitch these squares together, so I will leave those for now. But I have a funny story to tell. Do you want to have a little story time with me? Yesterday, I did something quite spectacularly unlikely. The timing and the angles had to be just so for this to happen. So, okay, you could never guess what I did. I went to the bathroom, I flushed the toilet, and the toilet paper was gone. I had used up the last little bit of toilet paper on the roll. So I went to take the little spring-loaded toilet paper holder off with the empty, cardboard roll. And just as I got it unhooked, I lost control of it. It sprang out of my hand, and I watched as the toilet paper tube went up and hit the floor, and the spring-loaded holder, the plastic bit, went straight into the toilet towards the front inside of the toilet, and it ricocheted off of there and went straight down the toilet as it did its final suction of the water. It just went boink, brunk, like just as the last suction of water went through. And then it was gone. Gone. I couldn't see it at all. And I was like, okay, I guess I need a new one of those. And fingers crossed, it went all the way through and didn't get stuck anywhere. And I know that my bathroom is kind of the last stop before our house drains into our septic tank. But no, the toilet was flushing slowly after that. So my partner did a new thing he's never done before, but he's seen toilets installed before. So he took it off and actually found the thing. He turned it over on its side, and right at the back of the toilet where the pipe within the toilet itself, it comes up and around like that. It had like shot through and just got stuck in that curve of the toilet. So he got it out with some wire, and it's there holding some fresh toilet paper right now. So anyway, I just wanted to share because that was quite remarkable. I went out and told my parents immediately when it happened. And I was just like, you'll never guess what I did. I don't even know how I did that. I cannot believe that just happened. And my mom said, well, we did always call you the Wonder Child, which is true. They called me the Wonder Child when I was a kid. So I dare you to try. No, don't really try it. But like nobody could ever do that if they ever tried. You'd have to get the timing of the flush just right. And like, I don't even know how it popped out of my hand. You know, it must have popped out of my hand in this direction to ricochet off the inside front of the toilet and then straight down. Anyway, yeah, if I have any other great stories like that later, I'll share with you. All right, here are all 15 of the first version of a square for this blanket. And seeing these together, it really makes me like the look of this blanket if done in only 3 colors. So I might consider that if I have to do any of these blankets again as an option. But I'm also excited to see all the other colors incorporated. So yeah, swirly. It's like 4-legged sea stars is what it makes me think of. Here's square number 2. Hello everybody, it is now Friday. I've got my car in the shop and I got a call from the dealership and it's supposed to be done. Hopefully they're going to be done with my car this afternoon and not have to keep it overnight. It looks like I don't need to get a ton of like work done. I don't need to get a whole new air conditioning system and everything. It looks like the Freon is just completely gone. So they're going to fill that up and check and see if there are any leaks anywhere that they need to fix. And so good news, I should have a car with a working air conditioner going forward. Something happened to my skin. I have been using ice packs in the car, like what you would use for like a sore muscle or like a lunchbox ice pack, to just like place on my body behind my back or on my thighs as I'm driving, when I have to drive in the afternoon or evening because it's been really hot in the car. And for a couple of the ice packs that don't have like a fabric layer over them, I know I have to be careful because I have in the past like accidentally given myself a burn from like the freezing cold on my skin. And I thought I was being very careful. So I had some on my lap the other day and I would just like, I would rest like my forearm, like my wrist area and forearm on these ice packs as I'm driving, but I would only do it for like a few seconds at a time. And then I would do the other one and then I would move them around on my body so that I wouldn't like let anything too cold sit on my skin for too long. And I even warned my kids that, because I was bringing ice packs for them to use in the car as well. And I was like, just don't leave it on bare skin for any, length of time, because you don't want to, burn your skin. Well, yesterday, after having driven in the car with some ice packs in the evening, because I had to, I noticed this mark on my arm, which looked like the kind of burn that I have gotten on my skin before from ice packs. So there's 2 marks there and there, if you can see, and they are really sore. They got redder this morning, and they were a little itchy this morning when I woke up, but they are super tender. They're swollen, like it's like a bump on the skin where the red marks are. And I have also gotten hives. So then I was like, I don't know if this is hives or a burn from the ice packs. And I was like, I really was being careful because I had that in my mind that I don't want to, burn my skin. And then I noticed right here, I have a mosquito bite. And I know that I have 2 other mosquito bites on my legs that I noticed earlier. So I think these are actually hives. So I just took a Benadryl pill, just a single one, which is like a half dose, a half of like what you could take for a full dose. And I'm curious if this is gonna alleviate from that. And then, you know, show up again when that's out of my system. That's how I'll be able to tell whether it's hives or not. Now I'm thinking they probably are hives, because I got a hive the other day on my left arm. Well, it was like a couple weeks ago after getting a cat scratch. So I'm wondering if I'm having an allergic reaction now to mosquitoes, which I don't think I've ever had before. My daughter gets really strong allergic reactions sometimes if she gets bitten by too many mosquitoes. So anyway, I'm dealing with a sore arm right now. It's like really inflamed. I think you can see pretty clearly there. Yeah. I feel like it wouldn't look like that if I accidentally burned my skin with the ice packs, because I was more resting, like I was especially resting like this part of my wrist to, like, you know, get that the veins that are right there, or arteries, I'm not sure. Anyway, to cool my blood, to cool my core in the car. So then the other thing I figured I'd show you is I have a stack going now of this square type number 2 for my third blanket. This is the one for my son. So this one is using two skeins of the bright green, this beige with the speckles, and this brown. And I have 9 of these now, so I need 5 more because I need to make 14 of these. I needed 15 of square 1 and 14 of square 2. So I'll make 5 more, and then I'll show you what they look like spread out together, just like I did with square 1. And then I can stitch them together. So, can I hypnotize you? This is really fun to make. Oh, and I do actually have an order on hand now. So one of my repeat customers, you've seen me make many things for her in these vlogs so far. She ordered a plush panda, a specific pattern that somebody else wrote. So I bought the pattern, and I will show you that when I get to that as well. We're also, since it's Friday, I need to think about making my next Nana, so I might do that first. I don't know, both projects will happen pretty quickly within a day or two, so not a big deal. And I'll definitely be ready to ship the panda at some point next week. Okay, I'm late, but I've joined the bandwagon finally. All right, here we have square number 2 for blanket number 3. And this is what it would look like if I only used these 3 colors. But I'm not only going to be using these 3 colors, so these are not going to stitch to each other. I just need to figure out the position of these with square 1 now. Okay, now I've got them laid out where in the order that I need to stitch them together in. So it's going to stitch into 3 strips, as you can see here. That will be close to one corner of the blanket. This will be close to the opposite corner of the blanket. And this line stretches from the other corner to the corner across from it. So I'll show you once I've stitched them. Here we have squares 1 and 2 for blanket number 3 stitched together. So I have this same level of progress now done on 3 of the 4 blankets. Next month I will be doing squares 1 and 2 of the final blanket, and then the month after that I will introduce squares number 3 and 4 back onto the first blanket again. So I will just do that. Keep alternating 2 squares for each blanket each month. So I am done with blanket progress for March. I have a panda to make now. No. I have a Nana to make. I started a leg already. Here's a moment of appreciation if you have subscribed, and if you haven't, why haven't you? We are now at 470 subscribers, so help me get to 500. All right, well, this is kind of unheard of that when I got to the top of each of these legs, the yarn that I was on only had this much left and this much left. So just enough for me to have like a length for tying a package up with. So I'll stick that in with my shipping supplies. And here we have 2 legs for my next Nana. If you're new here, when I say Nana, if you're in the States, you're probably thinking grandma, but it's actually based on the French term that, so originally an artist named Niki de Saint Phalle, I've told this story before, but it's been a little while. She created these big, glorious female form statues, curvaceous and colorful and vibrant and fun. And she called them nanas. Now, nana is a French term for broad or chick, gal, that kind of thing. So that's what nana means in this context as well. And so I'm doing crochet versions of them, and I'm doing one every week since Trump was elected. So this is number 72. I've sold several, but I have way more that I haven't sold, and they're all available in my shop, and I'm donating the proceeds to the ACLU. The net proceeds after I subtract shipping costs and Etsy fees. So I'm naming each one after somebody I find inspiring, and this one I will be naming after Kate Winslet, because I'm very much in awe of her. I think she's a wonderful role model for young girls and women, and I think she's just a very, very genuine human being. So yeah, so I've got the 2 legs. What I'm doing this time, I'm using my scrap balls of yarn, all sorts of random stuff, and I had ordered them in size of smallest to largest of the smaller balls of yarn, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going through smaller balls of yarn to larger balls of yarn. So since I'm now out of these, except for this, I'm not going to use this in the Nana anymore. The next color I'm going to use is this one, and this will begin the hips and belly area. And I just grabbed this one pretty fancy little specialty yarn to do a detail line in between each yarn change. So that's what I'm doing with that. I'll show you the progress pictures as I complete that later tonight and tomorrow. Probably, I'm not going to finish it tonight. I'll finish it tomorrow. And then I will get started on the little plush panda. I have some fluffy white and black yarns that I'm going to use. It's the same yarns that I used for a panda hooded scarf that I made for this same customer. So I'll show you that. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so I got to get to finishing this. The other thing I wanted to mention, two things more that I want to mention. Progression of my hives, as you can see, they actually spread out. Sorry, I'm bumping my mic. They actually spread out larger than they were initially. There's like the outer ring here of this spot. They ended up kind of blending together, but now that we're later in the day, they're starting to fade a little bit. So it was looking kind of like a butterfly for a little while, but now it's starting to fade, which is good. They're still swollen. There's like a bump. I can feel a physical bump over each spot. I did take 2 Benadryl before going to bed last night, and then this morning I took 1. If I feel like I have to, I can take 1 during the day without going to sleep, but I do usually feel pretty sleepy, and I can fight through it if it's 1 pill. But then I just did not want to have to feel sleepy for the rest of the day. So I haven't been taking it anymore since this morning, but I'll take another 2 tonight when I go to bed, because I really want to try to kick this reaction back that I'm having. I never got hives regularly as an allergic reaction to anything until within the past few years, and that specifically has been in reaction to like a cat scratch. I've gotten hives a couple times from after getting just the teeniest little light cat scratch. And this is the first time I've ever had it from mosquito bites. And I think it must be from mosquito bites, because I noticed getting a few mosquito bites recently, like in just the day or 2 leading up to this. So, and as you can see, I got another one this morning when I was out doing yard work. I'm not showing you any of my yard work this video. I don't do that. I don't record everything I do. But I've actually done yard work every morning this week except for 1. And that's because I took my car in early that one morning, which, by the way, does have cold AC now. But they did say I have dry rot in my tires. So I'm going to need to get new tires tomorrow at Costco. I have an appointment. But then the other thing I wanted to tell you is that I started TikTok. So yeah, I was late to the game for sure on that, and that's okay, but better late than never, right? I was late to getting on Instagram, and I kind of kicked myself for not getting on Instagram sooner. And that's the reason I jumped in on BlueSky when people first were talking about BlueSky. But TikTok kind of somehow just eluded me. I think I'm definitely older than the youngins that really like got on that strong. So, but I'm on there now because I figured I'm already making all these social media posts for every other page. Why not get on there too, and then just plug the same posts there as well? Who knows? Like, maybe I'll get some viewership there, some sales, coming over to my shop from there, or hopping on over to YouTube here to subscribe. And so, which, by the way, I just hit 470 subscribers. Thank you very much. And yeah, so if you want to check me out there, I have the same handle as I have here, except without the 4. So it's aileensoprano, which is also the same as my Instagram. And yeah, the little AI patterns that I made, the reels that I made for those, the 2 that I've posted there so far have already gotten over 400 views, which is pretty darn good for my almost no followers. I actually have 10 followers now over the course of like 2 days. So yeah, so with that, I need to shut up and get back to working on the Nana Kate. Man, listen to these bird sounds this morning. Those are squirrels too. There was an owl, but I think it stopped. Alrighty, so I really wanted to finish this panda today and get it photographed so that I could include it in this video since I had been talking about it in this video. And so I didn't record myself making any parts of it. I just wanted to get it done. So I did record these little progress clips that I could put together for a reel. So that's what I'm showing you here. And then the rest of the photo shoot is to follow. If you're interested in this pattern, it is by Crochet by Jenna, and I will link to the pattern in the description box. Well, Nana Kate is helping me out with my mic, as you can see. And I made this entire panda today and photographed him. Isn't he adorable? His little floppy arms and legs. So this is Nana Kate Winslet, as I already explained. I think she's just a magnificent person, and I think she makes for a magnificent doll. So there we have it. It is now Monday evening, and I need to edit this video. So I will be up possibly kind of late tonight doing that. And I just wanted to pop in here and sign off. Thank you so much for watching. If you've been a regular from the start, please let me know in the comments. I think my subscribership isn't such that I have a lot of people watching every single vlog, but if you are, let me know. I'd love to hear what you think, and if you'd like to see another AI crochet pattern, because that was fun. And actually, the scarf, the dragon scarf, which turned out looking like a snake, that reel, I ended up posting that on TikTok, and now that I have TikTok, and it's gotten the most views out of any of my other posts there. It's gotten like 2,300 or 2,400, something like that. And so that seems to be a popular thing to get a lot of attention. I mean, I don't know if that will translate to people following or not, but when I have time and if another AI pattern comes across my feeds that I just have to try, I will. But coming up next week, I will be working on, I'm going to be doing a pattern test for Star Lily Creations for the Flower of Life shrug, which you've seen me make a ton of times because I learned how to make it on her Patreon from her tutorial, and she's finally going to have it tested for a written pattern. So I will be one of the pattern testers for that. So I will be making another one. I'll just have to decide what colors to use. I already have like a rainbow of colors available. So who knows? You'll see that next week. And then beyond that, I don't know what I'll be making. I don't have anything planned or like on order at the moment. So we'll see what comes up for next week. But for now, I'm going to sign out so I can get this video put together. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, go follow me on any of the other social medias. All my links are in the description box, as well as links for any other specific things in this video, like this pattern will be linked there, and information about bananas will be linked there. So, crochet hooks and colors bright, crafting wonders day and night. Join the fun, come see it through, subscribe, and I'll create for you.